and welcome to the Never Drinking Again podcast with me, Dan Ross, and my beautiful co-host,
Aidan Perrins.
I didn't cue him up properly then, so that was why there was a bit of a delay, but I wanted him to say his own name. So what is the Never Drinking Again podcast, you may be wondering, after having downloaded it. Aidan, do you want to explain?
So we're going to bring on a guest. We're going to ask him what his dream night out is. We're going to run through how to have the best night out that we can.
Yeah, and you may be thinking, how are we qualified to decide this and describe this? Well, we are two of the finest barmen in the West Midlands area.
We are two barmen in the West Midlands area.
And we are colleagues and friends.
We are colleagues.
So yeah, we've been working in the pub trade for a long time, a couple of years.
Yeah, 2 years.
It's more like 5 for me, but you know, that's why you hear the slight more bit of depression in my voice than yours, just because I've been at it longer.
You're also older.
I'm also older, just a couple of years, just a few years. So yeah, my life is going
well, would you say?
Well, going nowhere but quicker.
Okay.
Or slower actually, because I'm on. Oh well. So basically, the genesis of this idea of never drinking again is having a night out so good or so chaotic that it makes you not want to drink again. And really, for us, that was a night out called The Event, which we do not talk about. Well, I mean, we can say a few things. It was on a Thursday, which shows...
That already shows you it wasn't a good night out.
It was a Thursday, and it was unplanned, and things happened which I never want to happen again in my life. So this is episode 1, and we were joined by a comedian and former black cabbie, Mark Hinds. What did you make of Mark? Judge him. He's gone now. We can just go.
I like Mark.
Yeah.
Good guy. As you'll hear, enjoyed his musings on the night out.
Yeah, I think as opening episodes go, this is a strong one. This isn't like, you know, TV shows where they set up the characters and the first episode's a bit boring and a bit sort of low. This is the first episode where you're like going to text your mates and be like, "Oh, have you watched this?" Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Mark smashed it out the park with his ideas.
Yeah, Mark was good. We maybe weren't, but you know, that's for you to judge. We'll be, speaking of judging, we judge Mark's night out at the end, and that's the benchmark for what the other guests have to live up to.
Yeah, and it's no spoilers, but it's a good one.
It's a solid score. It's a lot to live up to. But without any further ado, here is episode 1 of the Never Drinking Again podcast. Hello and welcome to our first guest of the Never Drinking Again podcast, Mark Hinds.
Hey, glad to be here. Never drinking again. How many times have I said that?
So yeah, that's the basic premise is that we want to create a night out for you that will be so good you will say, "I'm never drinking again" afterwards.
Excellent.
So we'll start you off with: is it going to be a pub crawl, or are you going to just stay in one place?
Had you have asked me that question 20 years ago, it would have been a crawl. I'm nearly 50 now. I don't do crawls. Just find me a nice bar.
Yeah, I mean, I'm nearly 30, and I'm already approaching that stage of just wanting to sit down in the same place and not move.
Yeah, it's the best way. Just don't move. Don't move. Find yourself an old drink as well. One of my drinks is the old light and lager.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, you got to have the light off the shelf though. It can't be cold.
Yeah.
And you just drink the light and lager. That way you get a pint and a third for the same price.
That is good advice.
That's a man who's been around the scene. I'd love to know.
Yeah, it's actually how I met my first wife. Actually, my only wife.
Yeah. Best to clarify that.
Yeah, she just thought I was weird because I was the only person in this pub drinking it.
Nice one. So we're going on a little, staying in one bar. Do you have any preference on what that bar will be? And bear in mind, we kind of have magical powers in this studio, so we can take you to any bar in the world at any point of time.
Oh, excellent. What I want is I want a pub, proper pub, with a nice table, no chrome, no glass, proper table. Maybe go old school and have a little fire in the background. It's got to have Sky Sports up in the corner.
Oh yeah, that is a big one.
Just for a little glimpse.
Yeah, what?
And proper crisps as well. I don't want chili and avocado crisps. I don't want them. I want salt and vinegar. maybe Monster Munch. That's fine.
Monster Munch in a pub.
Yeah,
Monster Munch pickled onion, if you're feeling fancy.
And if any of you got crisps, right? If you ever find a pub that does Tato crisps from Northern Ireland, the cheese and onion are just heaven in a bag, and that's all you need.
Perfect. So, it's what detractors would describe as an old man's pub. How would you?
I would describe it as heaven.
As heaven, yeah. I think that's fair.
Yeah, because I'm borderline old man.
That's fair enough. And would you want? You mentioned Sky Sports. Would you want a game to be on during the proceedings?
No, actually, I like to keep up to date with all the scores.
So Soccer Saturday.
Soccer Saturday.
Job.
Sound doesn't have to be on, but I have to be able to sort of have a little glimpse.
Yeah, just in case. Yeah,
just in case something catches my eye.
Lovely stuff.
Who would you want with you? And we're including, you can have one celebrity guest as well.
Preferably, I like to be on my own. like a proper drinker. Just sitting there on my own.
Proper drinker / alcoholic. Yeah.
Occasionally have a chat with the barman if you're feeling particularly friendly.
Little chat about so no, just probably my mate Mick. That's about it. My old drinking buddy, and that's it. Yeah, because we're just both the same. Just sit there, you have a chat for a minute, watch the football for a couple of minutes, go back to chatting.
Yeah. And you can kind of just not chat if you want to. Like when you've been friends that long, you can just be like, yep.
Yeah, but see, I've moved on from it. See, you young lads, you still go out to bars to try and meet women and stuff. Or do you still do that? Or you have to
trying?
Right?
Yeah, I mean, trying.
Swipe left. It's just like, you go to a bar now.
Yeah, everyone's on the Tinder.
Everyone's on the Tinder, and if you talk to a woman, you're the weirdo. It's like, what are you doing talking to me?
It's always been if I talk to a woman.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean, we pretty much all.
Is that before or after you've talked to her?
Oh, I think during the whole exchange.
It's kind of like a little curve. Like it starts off weird, and then you start talking, and it goes even worse.
Yeah.
Like
no, I just when you go to the pub, you just want to have a little chat, don't you?
Yeah.
Just relax. Man time. I think we call it man time. It's like sometimes now you go out with people. It's more like a counselling session. How's your life going? Why are you drinking soda water and lime?
yeah. I mean, me and Aiden are both barmen, so we get people wanting us to counsel them.
Oh,
and
you're
like,
the new therapist.
Yeah, it's like we're very underqualified for this. We're very hungover, and we don't want to talk to anyone. Just have your pint.
Yeah.
Last week, a guy came in, ordered a pint, and was, I've just been made redundant. I don't know how to deal with that.
Yeah. We're underqualified for this.
Honestly, in my previous life, I was a London black taxi driver.
Okay, yeah, so similar, yeah.
So the general public come in, and they used to come in for therapy. They get in the cab. I've dealt with everything: marriages, breakups, attempted suicides, the whole lot. I'm just not qualified for this.
I mean, the whole reason we're working in a bar is because we're underqualified to do anything. So therapy is definitely at the bottom of the list of what we should be dealing with.
And basically, after working in a bar like you do, and you're dealing with the general public all the time, this place we're in today is the perfect antidote, isn't it? Just like a
soundproof box, room. Yeah.
Just lock the door and that's it, and not speak to anyone.
And the locks are quite heavy, the doors are quite heavy, so if some randomer to come in is going to take a lot of effort, which is perfect.
Yeah. So just got to that age now where I just want a quiet drink in the pub with my mate.
Yeah.
And that's it. Yeah, and just someone along for a laugh. You were asking me which celebrity would I like?
Yeah.
I'll tell you the one I'd like, Johnny Vegas.
Ooh. Yeah, he is very much designed for the pub, I feel.
He is, isn't he?
Yeah.
Likes a drink, good laugh, bit surreal. Likes his sport as well.
Yeah, perfect.
So, yeah.
I actually saw Johnny Vegas on a night out once. It was quite upsetting because, like, Johnny Vegas, you want him to be in, like, a proper pub.
Yeah.
And it was an all-bar one in Putney. It's just like, Johnny Vegas should not be here. This is very off-brand.
Don't tell me he was drinking a mojito.
Yeah, he was drinking a mojito. No, I think he was on the beers, but it was just not who you expected to see in that place at that time.
Yeah. He's actually the reason I got into comedy. I just want to meet Johnny Vegas. I just want to meet Johnny Vegas.
So, Johnny, if you are listening, Mark is up for a meeting. I mean, if you are listening, we'd all be happy to meet you in order to further our careers. So you got you, Mick, Johnny Vegas in a pub, bag of crisps. What would you be drinking? Any specific beers come to mind?
I'd just go back to the old days and go to the old light and lager. Just sit there comfortably. Maybe these days I have a little short to go with it.
Oh yeah, nice. We saying whiskey?
Yeah, a little whiskey. No, brandy's more my
brandy.
thing.
Nice.
Little brandy. Little glass of 3 barrels just to kick the night off. But now you get judged if you're drinking little shorts as long with a pint.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, I have been judged many times then. I'm oblivious.
Back in the days, you get judged if you didn't have a short.
Yeah.
And that's usually the way you kick the evening off, like with a couple of little shorts just to get you up to speed quickly.
What is it that you hate to see in a pub where you see someone do something like that? That's against the social rules.
It's not actually against the social rules. It's against my social rules. Leave the mobile phones at home. Stop with the mobile phones. That drives me. You see groups of people out and they're all on their mobile phones. It's like, no, you've come to the pub to talk to each other.
Yeah.
And what are they doing? They're texting each other anyway. It's just like just reading their Facebook feed. No, leave the phones at home. Oh yeah, but what if there's an emergency? It's already happened. Don't worry about it. There's nothing you can do. Oh, but what if Auntie Flo's dead? She's dead. There's nothing you can do.
You can't bring her back. No, just stay at the pub.
Just talk to each other.
Yeah.
Just have a good time. And that's what you must notice in the pubs yourselves now.
Yeah.
People not talking to each other.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like there's people who come in like big groups of like 10 or like a big gathering, and they're just sort of taking pictures of each other.
Yeah.
They're having the night out so they can put it on social media,
exactly.
and then talk to each other about it on social media.
But that happens. That doesn't just happen in the pub. That happens everywhere. Have you seen it at football when there's a penalty?
Oh yeah, all the phones. Yeah.
People with their phones up, watch the penalty.
Yeah.
And then talk about it afterwards. It's just, it's insanity. Like you see couples go out, and they'll sit there having dinner, and they're on their phones, and just like, no, this is why your relationship's going to fail.
Yeah. And it's going to be the worst night out ever, but they'll put it on Instagram, Facebook. It's like amazing, and everyone will get jealous of it and want to go and do it themselves.
It was brilliant. So you could do an intervention when you're in the pub. When you see a couple out and they're both on the phones, just go and stop it there. Just go, look, I'm going to help you out. Just split up now because it's not working. 5 years' time, you're going to hate each other, so don't do it now.
I mean, the TripAdvisor reviews won't be great for that, but...
Yeah, but then then people will get suspicious if they come to your bar. Oh, we're going there to break up.
Yeah.
You'd have a break-up bar.
I think that's a good idea. Just a
break-up bar?
Yeah.
Break-up bar.
Because you get invited to it and you just know. So there's,
what's happening.
Yeah, so there's no need to go through all the awkwardness.
Yeah.
You can just get it over and done with.
Don't say anything that takes a long time. Only like half pints, shorts.
That's it.
No food more than like a bag of chips.
You can even download Tinder on the way there.
Yeah.
You're ready to go. You start your life.
And then have a speed dating room next to it.
Because there's going to be other single people there.
There's going to be entirely single people by the end of it, so yeah, it's perfect. So
this podcast has graduated from a night out to our new business idea.
Yeah, we're going to be rich.
It's my business idea, by the way.
Well, I mean, it's on our show, so we've got the copyright now. That's what this is for. We're just going to get people's ideas and then steal them and then own the copyright, which I think is a good plan.
Yeah, so this is just an elaborate ruse, really.
Yeah. So we're barring people on their mobile phones. Anything else you hate to see in the bar? For me, personally, it's what I would invent for a pub is a separate queue for people wanting like cocktails or coffees or anything mildly complicated to make.
Yeah, it's
the worst thing when you stood wanting a pint and it's just people having woo-woos.
Yeah, and who goes to the pub to have a latte? When did that start? I want to have a latte. And then, actually a weird one. On the same pub, I forgot to mention the pub. Mustn't serve food. No food. No food.
Okay, that was going to be one of our questions.
No food.
Other than crisps.
That's it. Crisps, peanuts, pork scratchings.
Perfect.
But apart from that, no. And other people that shouldn't be in the pub.
Yeah.
Well, it would be my own. If I ran a bar, it would be my own rule. It's actually, I'll tell you the story of my black cab. When it's anyone that I don't care what they think about leave or remain. You're just not allowed to talk about it. It's a Brexit-free zone.
I mean, I'd like that just to be a rule for society and do it in general. Yeah.
For life, look, just vote, be quiet. That's it.
Yeah.
I actually did it in the black cab because obviously you can imagine what I was getting in all the time.
Yeah.
Just people ask me, "Well, what way are you going?" I was like, "Oh no." I actually put a sign up saying you can talk to me about anything, but not Brexit or the referendum at the time. Just didn't want to hear it.
It's mad because I would say I'm quite into politics, but like the 3 years it's been, and it's just made me so uncaring about anything.
Yeah, you just if you step back from it, you just look at it and just go, "You're all lying."
Yeah,
you're all lying.
Right, so I'll have to move on because of the no politics rule. I'm not going to get into that.
Here's my view.
Because we could derail this very quickly.
Aidan's actually standing in the general election.
Oh, are you?
Oh, I wish.
No, he's not.
I would start a revolution, believe me.
Aidan's anarchist party.
I don't want a bit of anarchist, but...
it would purely just be things that will make me laugh.
Surely the part of anarchism is you don't have a government.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Dictator.
Perfect. That's exactly what we need. A benevolent dictator. No, this is what's happening. That's it. Done.
Yeah, I can see no problems at all with a dictator. Like throughout history, there's
Especially
never
one
been any
like
issues.
myself
Yeah.
with 0 qualifications to run a country. But yeah.
Yeah, you've got more than some of them.
So yeah, but that the rule about not having long drinks. I would have like at supermarkets like the 10 items. Or,
Yeah.
Like a
Express
one
queue.
drink express queue. So there's people buying rounds of 10. They can go elsewhere. If I just want one drink,
Yeah,
I want to be able to just go right up to the bar like a single rider's queue at the.
Yeah, just straight up. It's because we're not used to it. Because when that sort of culture came in and they started doing coffees and like you say, like long drinks and that at the pub, we weren't used to it. I'm not used to it still. Like you say, you get someone up there going, they're ordering like 10 different drinks, and then going, oh, have you got this? What do they do? Just look at everything that's on the shelf and just go, oh, have you got something I can't see? There's no secrets in a pub. But then you go to Ireland, which is brilliant, and you actually don't mind if someone's in front of you and orders 10 Guinnesses. They're prepared for it. They're already half poured, ready to go.
Yeah,
So maybe train the bar staff.
Yeah, it's the barman's fault. I think that's best.
Yeah.
So you mentioned no food in the pub. After the pub, what view on a possible cheeky kebab?
Yeah, you can have a kebab van outside.
Outside, directly outside, like
maybe round the corner.
round the corner. So you get the bit of a walk. So you feel
so you exercise.
yeah, exercise is always good, and you feel like you've earned it.
Yeah, and you got to learn. I learned the kebab can be quite a dangerous food. Especially if you're well dressed, because you wake up in the morning and you've got the grease stains down.
Yeah, you can never wear that suit again.
Well, I mean, I've patented this idea, so you can't steal this one. I'll give you the tip for that. You've got your suit on, you're coming home from the pub, you've had a little cheeky doner on the way home.
Yeah.
Walk backwards.
Backwards.
Physics takes over and the grease drops away from you.
But you will walk into.
Yeah.
Well, you can turn your head a little bit like that.
I don't know what's more dangerous: eating kebab after drinking or walking backwards after drinking. I don't know which is going to cause more issues.
I think the fact you're eating a kebab in the first place is more dangerous than walking backwards.
So obviously, this is your dream night out. So it would be your dream kebab. Talk us through the makeup of the kebab?
It can have the whole works apart from cucumber.
Okay.
Ooh.
No cucumber. No cucumber anywhere.
I was expecting tomato to be the thing banned, but cucumber.
I've never really heard an agenda against cucumbers.
They are the devil's vegetable or whatever they're called. No, I don't know. I literally, if you cut a cucumber and butter my bread with the same knife, I can taste it and it just makes me gag.
Are you sure that's not water you're tasting?
Yeah, it's just cucumber and Jack Daniels, the only two things that make me reach.
Oh, that's fair. I mean, Jack Daniels is very nice.
Well,
it does a job.
I would. I've had good nights out on Jack Daniels.
And
I've
cucumber.
had terrible mornings after on
terrible
Jack Daniels
mornings,
as well.
Yeah. So sauce-wise, chili sauce, garlic mayo.
It's got a bit of chili sauce.
Chili sauce, yeah.
And it's got to have one of those red hot chilies on the top.
Oh yeah, that is a good shout.
Yeah, hot and vinegary, beautiful.
That could be the name of our double act.
What, hot and vinegary?
Yeah. I don't know who's who.
I do.
So I think now's a good time to take a little break in proceedings, and then we will review the night out.
Yeah.
Back in a bit. So yeah, welcome back. We've just heard Mark's night out there, and now comes the real pressure of this podcast, which is when Aidan is going to give you a review of your night out.
So Mark, we're doing just one bar, which at first you kind of lost me because I'm still quite youthful, so my legs still work. So
yeah.
So
I can feel the judgment.
I'm more of a cool man. However, you did win me back when you described that pub, and yeah, I will stay in that pub all night. Proper tables, Sky Sports, crisps, and a fire. I'm happy there.
One thing, maybe gain some extra points. What are you going to name this pub? So this is a fictional pub we can create for you.
It's got to be old school, hasn't it? It's got to be like the Spotted Dog or the Anchor or something
The
like that.
Anchor's a
isn't
good
it?
one.
Yeah.
We're quite near the Anchor at the moment in Digbeth.
Okay.
I'm just
Little
always
shout
thinking
out
about
to
where.
them. Are you hoping to get some free drinks Sunday when we hear this?
I'm just always thinking of where the nearest pub is. I've got a slight problem, but yeah. Anyway, back to you, Aidan.
And then I also enjoyed that you choose to just go out with one person.
Yeah.
That some of my favourite nights at the pub, anything has been just me and one other person.
Yeah.
Apart from me and Dan had
Yeah.
something called The Event, which we never talk about again.
There's a night out, so
Is that a whole nother podcast?
yeah.
That's
That's like that's a movie. That's
yeah. We're working on a book deal. And I thought your choice of Johnny Vegas was I wasn't expecting it, so I did enjoy that because thinking about it, he'd be a great laugh at the pub. You did lose me a bit with your drinker choice, light and lager, and
But
some
you'll
brandy.
try it. You'll try it later.
I'm not a brandy fan at all. I've tried brandy, not my thing. And if you got a fire in a pub, I'd want something a bit heavier than a lager, bit maltier,
bit of bitter,
dark
stout.
IPAs, a stout in front of
Yeah.
a fire, something like that.
something so heavy that by the fire you'll just fall asleep.
Yeah.
You sound older than me.
You should hear my bones click when I go upstairs. Then politics rule. That got a 10 out of 10 from me because
Get
that's
in.
absolutely definitely
The first 10 of the 10 of the podcast.
yeah.
I mean, it is the first show, but still.
Yeah, there is
I'll take it.
there is no bar for this, so
Yeah.
this is very much you setting the bar and you set it quite high. Kebab sounded good. I'd have had the cucumber, so I only gave you a 9 out of 10 for that.
Oh,
10 out of 10 with a cucumber.
It's all about choice.
yeah.
Overall, first podcast, 8 out of 10. I'm saying that's a very good score. I've enjoyed your.
I like that. I'll take 8 out of 10. I was hoping for 6.5.
I'm well up for that night out, to be honest.
Yeah, well, you can't go though because it's just Mark and he doesn't want any random people turning up.
We'll go.
We
there.
could sit in a separate corner.
Yeah. I want to go to this.
Yeah.
I want to go to this pub, the Anger, not the one near us.
Yeah.
And luckily, we can actually make it an all-dayer as well because we can go for the early game.
Day drinking.
Yeah.
Day drinking.
Day drinking into evening.
I'm a big fan of day drinking.
I think it's the greatest invention of the 20th century,
Yeah.
day drinking.
You can get drunk and go to bed at a reasonable time.
Yeah.
This is the complete opposite of an intervention. Like, day drinking's amazing. Yeah, but like drinking, go to the early kickoff. Maybe have a fry up beforehand or a nice bit of breakfast line.
See, now you're making this into a weekend.
Yeah. Watch the early kickoff. Stay in the pub for the 3 o'clock on Soccer Saturday.
Yeah.
And then watch the late kickoff. Go home with a kebab. Go to bed. Wake up and probably feel not that bad in the morning.
And just repeat.
And just keep doing it again.
And that's,
Yeah, rinse and repeat.
yeah.
Yeah, so you got the Sunday games.
I think as a weekend, that's a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, and then you got Monday night
I've
football.
given you an 8 out of 10. Stop trying to get that
Just trying
extra.
to get it up.
Oh, so that is it. That is the night out planned. There's
Yeah.
only one question left to remain. Pub? Pub?
If I have to.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you very much.
So there we go. A solid 8 out of 10 for Mark there, putting him top and also bottom of the leaderboard.
Yeah, top and bottom, but I think it's a good benchmark. It's a lot for the next guest to live up to.
Top and bottom would also be another good name for our double act.
Yeah.
And we all know who's who. So, yeah, all that remains to say is thank you very much to everyone who's listened. And, of course, thank you to Mark. We'll put a few links to his social media in the description. Also, if you want to follow us on social media.
Not us personally. Don't add me on Facebook. I will not accept.
But if you want to add me on Bebo, I will accept. So, yeah, I'll put our Twitter, Instagrams, all that good stuff for the show in the description. And, yeah, so click and follow us and watch this podcast grow into the greatest podcast in the world.
Or the greatest podcast in this one specific studio.
Oh, I don't know about that. That's a stretch. Yeah, it's a podcast that is in no way a rip-off of the Off Menu podcast, so anyone who says that is just a liar and a fraud and should be savagely critiqued.
Hung for treason.
Yeah, exactly. Hung for treason. And that's how we're going to end the show. Thank you and goodbye.